Lore. You guys want to hear lore about how I started on NoPixel? I honestly didn't know anyone on NoPixel when I started. So I was a variety streamer for my first year on Twitch. I used to do crazy shit. I used to like cosplay and stuff. Like think of like a Vincent Sear kind of character. That's kind of what I did. I had a whole story to my stream. I used to variety stream on Xbox, my Xbox One. You can find some old videos in my YouTube and my some of my old videos on my YouTube and of me cosplay. I had characters and stuff I used to play. It's kind of cringe now, to be honest with you, but it was fun, like, you know. My YouTube and Instagram have some videos, but I used to have a whole story to my stream, my setup, and I variety streamed for like a year. And then my community, one person in particular, actually Irish, pretty much donate. They knew I was they wanted me to become a PC gamer because they knew it would further my streaming dream, I guess. So my community actually got me a PC pretty much. And once I got my PC, the first thing they told me to do was GTA RP because, you know, my personality is something that came across to the community and they said it would suit me. So I got GTA RP, applied for NoPixel. I actually did a video application for NoPixel. It was something different. I dressed up as one of my characters. Senior Staff Sergeant Bryson Bosch Boy Sean III. He's actually a Texas war vet. He was my first character on NoPixel. He was a Texas, Vietnam, and Korean war vet. He was a taxi driver and he used to drive a taxi called Cover Fire Cabs, getting you to your destination regardless of your situation. And he used to just like fucking be a crazy taxi man who had PTSD. If he heard gunshots, he used to go off, you know, shooting, go crazy. But that was my first character. I used to play him on public servers for like 3 or 4 weeks. And then luckily I got in first application into NoPixel. It was way back when there was like 32 players in the server. So it was much smaller. I didn't know anybody. I had no idea who Chang was. I had no idea who Lord Kevin was. I started watching Vader a little bit when I was playing. Vader was pretty much the first streamer I kind of watched. And Buddha. I used to watch Buddha actually, and Vader. I remember Mario and Flippy's first day in the city. It was early in my days as well. I used to hang around with Mario and Flippy in the Vagos a bit. And then I got to know Kevin. I used to fuck with Bo, Kenny, Bojangles. Late night, I used to like hang around with Kenny a lot. I didn't really know the Changang crew. And then through Gomer and hanging out with Bo late night around this time, I got to meet Mr. Chang, Kevin. And I guess we just hit it off. I asked him to do a job. I think it might still be on YouTube. I asked him to do a job, a vault with me. And like one thing Kev's unbelievable at, guys, is giving people chances and finding unique characters and just reading people well. And he was like, yeah. So we did a vault back in the day. With Gomer. It was Gomer who plays Timac. Timac plays his cop main most of the time now. It was Timac, Mr. K and Mr. Chang back in the day, myself, and Randy. Randy was at the job. So we did a job where we dressed up as firemen and we got fake IDs and we tried to rob the vault pretending there was a fire alarm, but the EMS ended up ratting us out. Like, it was going really well. The roleplay was amazing. The EMS were like, they're not actually fire officers, they're pretending to be. So then the police obviously had to arrest us and shit. But the funniest thing about that scenario was whatever IDs Kev, Mr. K, Mr. Chang got for us, he gave me one. He gave me one as the chief of police called like Bozo Doink or something. It's like clearly a clown's ID, like clearly. So I RP'd the chief of, yeah, how's it going there, guys? I RP'd as like Bozo Doink, chief of police clown. So I was putting on like, yeah, how's it going there, guys? I was just doing some dumb shit as a clown. Which kind of made it more memorable for me. But that was like my first engagement. And I guess I just got to know Kev first and was gradually introduced to the boys, and similar vibes, I guess, you know what I mean? Similar vibes. And yeah, that was kind of I was never committed to a group when I was in NoPixel at the start. Like I never joined the Vagos or anyone. I was always kind of like trying to just, I didn't ever wanted to commit somewhere where I didn't feel like I was comfortable or it didn't fit me. So I was kind of friends with the Vagos. And then Mr. Chang asked me to go after a trap house, and then that's pretty much where I became Chang Gang. Mr. K had my back from the get-go. The Vagos came after me with Flippy, actually. Flippy was a Vago back then, and I think Curtis maybe might have been a lean boy. I think Curtis and Flippy kidnapped Anto with Das Medi's character and Denzel, and then Denzel cut off Anto's pinky finger. And that was actually the start of a real like hostile situation. And Mr. K was like Flippy killed me. I only died, that is such an exaggeration. I literally, holding down the trap house, I only died once. Gomer got killed a shit ton of times. Gomer got killed loads of times. Anto literally only died once because I went to bed, and then I got kidnapped and tortured, and then yeah, Mr. K showed his loyalty to Anto, so Anto's been loyal to Mr. K in character ever since. And even out of character, the amount of help Kev gave me early doors. First time I ever hit 1,000 viewers from a raid, or ever. First time I ever hit 4 figures was from a Lord Kevin stream. Mr. K raided me like way back when, maybe I remember it was September 2019, so however many years ago that is. September 2019. That was the first time I ever had 1,000 viewers, and it was a Kevin raid. And Kev was just really supportive of me. He actually gave us his last raid on Twitch was to us as well. Like just a lot of loyalty out of the city, which I will never forget and never turn my back on, if you get me. Regardless of like, it's been tough for Anto, to be honest, with Chang Gang at times, because I've been on the outside a lot. I've always been around, but I've kind of felt like a forgotten character a lot. Anto's the kind of guy who will like give the shirt off his back for his boys, you know, even his girls as well. Like Anto will give people shit. He doesn't mind. He's not a money driven character really. He doesn't care about cash, doesn't really care about cars. He's just to have a good time and hang out with people, you know. But like, it's in character and out of character, it's had its ups and downs, you know. There's been times where I've felt very kind of alone in the city, I guess, just because of rules of 4 and rules of 6 and stuff, and Anto's always around, but I've never been the kind of person to force myself on people. I hate that. I'll always volunteer myself to jump out of groups of 6, generally speaking, like Curtis did today, another legend, because I just don't like that. I prefer people to be happy than me to, you know, insert myself on top of people. So but yeah, we're in a great place now, and you know, I love my boys. I love what I do, and we're going to try and do a lot more now soon with we're going to launch YouTube in the next few weeks, where I'm going to do a lot more IRL reaction streams. We're going to do a bit of variety game throughs. We're also going to do like IRL streams of like assault courses and boxing. One of my friends is a professional boxer. He's son of a former world champ, and we might do a boxing training session with him and then spar with him at the end and do an IRL stream of it. And just think of like good new IRL streams to do, you know.